Welcome to another edition of Them Nerds. Tony here today to talk to you about one of the organizations underpinning much of the goings-on in the world of Marvel Comics, S.W.O.R.D. S.W.O.R.D, which stands for Sentient World Observation and Response Department in the comics, was originally introduced to the comics in Astonishing X-Men Volume 3, Number 6, by the incomparable Joss Whedon and John Cassaday. Originally an offshoot of S.H.I.E.L.D., get it? S.W.O.R.D and S.H.I.E.L.D. The two organizations have often been at odds. S.W.O.R.D was originally intended as a way to deal with extraterrestrial threats, while S.H.I.E.L.D. would hold down the fort here on Earth. Initially appearing in the X comics, S.W.O.R.D has had many run-ins with our favorite mutants. In fact, the first S.W.O.R.D agent outed as a spy was the alien dragon Lockheed, who you may know as the companion of both Kitty Pryde and Illyana Rasputin, aka Magic. Other notable members are Abigail Brand, who is basically S.W.O.R.D's version of Nick Fury, Beast, Cable, Magneto, Spider-Woman, and Henry Peter Gyrich, the perennial thorn in the side of both the Avengers and the X-Men. Why are we talking about S.W.O.R.D at this point in time? Primarily because of the emergence of the group on the Disney Plus series WandaVision. Their logo keeps popping up on the series. Notably on the full-color helicopter that invaded Wanda's black and white life in Episode 2, on a computer panel at the end of Episode 1, on the mysterious beekeeper's back, and on Geraldine's necklace in that tense scene with Wanda's new twins in Episode 3, in which Geraldine references Ultron and seems to have an uncomfortable wave of realization. Geraldine, who we all know is Monica Rambeau, has a connection to Captain Marvel in the MCU, and definitely has a connection to extraterrestrial threats in the comics. In fact, she is Captain Marvel in the comics for some time, but that's a discussion for another episode. Okay, so let's talk S.W.O.R.D connections elsewhere in the MCU. In the post-credit scene of Spider-Man Far From Home, we see Nick Fury and Maria Hill transform into Skrulls. Then we see Fury aboard a space station eerily similar to The Peak, which is S.W.O.R.D's space station base in the comics. We also know that Secret Invasion will be making its way to Disney Plus, and there will be connections to S.W.O.R.D and the Skrulls. Captain Marvel will also likely be involved with S.W.O.R.D at some point, given her position as a space-based hero and her interactions with the Skrulls. Sprinkle in Monica Rambeau's connections, and I think we may have some major plot elements of Captain Marvel 2. How about mutants? Jerry and I have talked on our show here many times about how the MCU gets its mutants. Well, both Magneto and Beast have been involved with S.W.O.R.D's goings-on in the comics past and present. Could Hank McCoy and Eric Lehnsherr join the craziness that is WandaVision? Eric Lehnsherr is Wanda's dad, after all. We'll know in the coming weeks. Maybe. We hope. One final thought regarding connections between S.W.O.R.D and the MCU. This might be a little bit out there, but follow me. Spider-Woman. During the aforementioned Secret Invasion storyline, Jessica Drew, aka Spider-Woman, was replaced by the Skrull Queen. We see in a limited comic series that ran from 2009 to 2010 entitled Spider-Woman, that Jessica was in a very dark place because of these events. In this series, she is approached by Abigail Brand about joining S.W.O.R.D. She does, and travels to Madripoor to take on a Skrull posing as Spider-Man. Okay, so, we know she could fit into the Secret Invasion storyline easily. We know Madripoor will be referenced in the upcoming Falcon and the Winter Soldier series, and it's easy to believe Spider-Man will be a part of the Disney Plus Secret Invasion series. Sounds to me like Jessica Drew has a built-in introduction. Director Olivia Wilde has already mentioned she'll be helming a female-led MCU film, and Spider-Woman is a very likely candidate. What do you think, nerds? Am I reaching here? Maybe. But with the rich treasure trove of material at Marvel Films' disposal, it's only a matter of time before we see fan-favorite characters like Beast, Magneto, and Spider-Woman appear. Why not take this opportunity to continue weaving a wonderful web of interconnectedness not unlike the comics themselves? And that's all from Them Nerds today, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. And don't forget to follow us on social media at We Them Nerds on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Be good to each other. Later, nerds.